Hello, today we're gonna have a look at the Pac Lunx mod. Now you get 5 trucks with that, and they all carry the first name Lynx. First one we're gonna check out is the Lynx Polar Explorer. Comes with 63-inch tires, and let's get started. Okay, I got them packed in there pretty tight. Now these are nice looking trucks. See if we can get a better look at one here up on the hill here. Now this is a nice looking rig. Got nice big tires on it. For some reason now we're spinning going downhill, which is kind of not that great actually. Well, went through the dip pretty nice, but yeah, it's kind of funny how the tires decide to spin and when they spin. Sometimes you think they should go through and then they just sit there and spin. Anyhow, let's have a look what this truck can do. Oops. Okay. So it's doing alright. Now this is a fairly large mod. Takes 1,000 megabytes, so on consoles that's absolutely huge. It doesn't leave you much room for many other trucks actually. It'd be nice if they'd offer these trucks separately so that you don't have to go for such a big memory hog. Okay, so this truck has passed the swamp test, passed the side of the hill test, so it didn't roll, and now it's going through the deep water, so we're doing pretty good. Now we're going to see if it gets hung up on this mud bar in this little double puddle here. Now have to go to low range diff lock to get moving here. Okay, so it's not going to get hung up. It's got good clearance underneath with these big tires. Nice tall suspension. Very nicely done. So this is a pretty good truck. Definitely one of the better ones out of this group for sure. Probably the best one, because it does have the larger tires. The rest of them only have 50-inch tires, but they all have separate things that they can have on their chassis there. Like they've all got unique things that they can put on the back of them. This one has a nice unique box that you can haul 2 pallets with. Let's see here, let's change trucks. Okay, so now we've got a couple of fuel trucks. Now if you go to the refuel here, it's got 3,600 liters of fuel in this tank, which is a good amount. And both these trucks are the same amount, but the one has a little bit longer chassis than the other, so it sticks a spare tire in there. That's about the only difference there on the wheelbase length is just longer on the one. They both have 50-inch tires. Now this is a sharp looking truck. Like really sharp looking truck. Be nice if that fuel tank became used on more vehicles. Okay, so what's going on here now? We've gotten stuck going downhill. For some reason. Okay, so low range diff lock takes care of that. But we do sink into the mud a bit with these trucks. Nice looking trucks though. Really nice looking. So passed the dip test alright. It didn't dig in with the front nose in that dip, but it did get slowed down in the mud. So these trucks do have they get slowed down in the mud sometimes. Like here it's been going through pretty good. And then here at the end sometimes it gets slowed down. Like right there now it's slowed right down. Okay. So did the swamp okay. We'll give it a tip or a roll test here on the side of the hill. Now, this slope is pretty steep actually. It doesn't always look like it is, but it definitely decides what trucks are worth keeping and what are worth getting rid of, because there is trucks that do roll on this hill. And you don't really want those because it seems like there's a lot of angles you find yourself in and you don't really want to be rolling. Okay, so did the deep water alright. Now we're going to test the double puddle with the mud bar. See if it gets hung up. A little low range diff lock just to speed things up here. Okay, so we made it through there pretty good. In order for us to shave a few minutes off this video here, we're gonna not bother with the other truck that's identical to this one, just a minor shortness in body length. And we'll skip over to the next one there. Now, this one also has 50-inch tires, but it only has one single back axle. Well, this is a pretty cool truck. It's got lots of parts. You can go and fix a lot of broken down stuff. We should actually check and see how many parts you actually get with this truck. As soon as we get out of this dip, we'll have a look. Okay, so if we go to repair, you get 250 in the truck, and then 802 on the platform. right? Yeah, okay. And 4 spare tires. Okay. So you get over 1,000 parts there. That's pretty good. Okay. So now for the, look at that. Look what I did to myself. Parked it in the way. Okay. So now we're going to see how it does in the mud. We might as well go low range diff lock right off the bat. And again, it slows down here at this end of the swamp for a little bit. Now, we'll see how it does on the side of the hill. So it didn't roll. It did look like a pretty steep hill for this truck here, but it didn't roll. So again, we get slowed down quite a bit here. Well, okay. So this one needs some help. I have to say this is the poorest truck out of the group. It struggles in this swamp here. Okay, now we're starting to lose some daylight here. So we'll try and speed this up. We'll go straight to the Lynx Hurricane. Oh, the last one was a Lynx Hunter. I guess I didn't tell you that. This is a Lynx Hurricane. And this one has a twin steer at the front, 50-inch tires, set up for logging. And we'll give it the test. So it goes through the dip better at the start, and it pulls through pretty good. So it does good in the dip test. The extra tires seem to make a difference. Okay, so we'll give it a test in the swamp here. Low range diff lock, and it seems to do alright in the mud. Would be nice to get a little bit more traction out of these trucks, because they do get slowed down in this swamp pretty good. Like we're just crawling. Sometimes you get into a spot where you're going so slow in the mud, it's painful. So it would be nice to have a little bit more traction. We'll take it up on the side of the hill here and see how it does on the slope. I think with a full load of logs it might be a little bit of a different story. Hard to say until we test that theory. But it didn't roll on the side of the hill there. And we're doing alright in the deep water test. Okay, now let's see if it gets hung up on the mud bar. You know what? We don't even get a chance because we got stuck before we even got on the mud bar. So more traction is required here. The tires on these trucks need more grip. And for a mod that's going to take so much space on the console, I want performance. So I used to have these trucks in my fleet. They are no longer in my fleet because it takes up too much space for the performance that I get out of it. As much as I like these trucks and they're cool looking trucks, we need more traction. If you're gonna give up that much space, oh look at that. Let's just roll over on our side too. Okay. So we recovered without having to use a winch. Okay. So all in all, these are nice trucks. I do like the fuel trucks the best out of this bunch. And that one with the larger tires, the Polar Explorer. These are nice trucks. But it would be nice to see some more traction put to these tires. So, it is a nice mod, but it takes up so much room on the consoles. You don't even have a chance to have too many other ones once you put you want to put it on there or not. It's nice to try it out, use it for a while, but as long as for keeping it on there, it takes up too much space for myself, or most people on consoles will probably run into that same problem. But I do like the trucks, and I'm just gonna have to say have a good day.